Hi, this presentation is going to be an overview of the Wikiversity book chapter, Anorexia Nervosa and Intrinsic Motivation. So we're going to start off by just taking a look at the actual book chapter. So it starts off with an overview and then it delves into anorexia nervosa specifically. It talks about the history, eating disorders, different types, who's at risk, and then it goes on to talk about intrinsic motivation specifically. It talks about the history, the research, and then it puts the two together and it talks about theories of motivation. So we start with drive theory, and then we go into the self-determination theory, which is broken up into autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Then there's a quick quiz and a conclusion with some take-home messages, the see also list, and the references. So a summary of theories. The two main ones that are talked about is the drive theory and the self-determination theory. So with the drive theory, Freud and Hull, they have very different understandings, well, not very different, but rather different understandings of drive and where it comes from. But Hull's theory in particular explains the intrapersonal motives behind disordered behaviour in terms of learning and the act of learned behaviour repeating itself. Self-determination theory, on the other hand, so the three aspects I just said, they are all major parts of anorexia nervosa, and they are really broken down in this book chapter to explain the motivation in sufferers. So the overall conclusion of the page is that anorexia nervosa is a common yet largely variable psychiatric disorder which affects a large amount of the Australian population. And the self-determination theory best explains intrinsic motivation of anorexia nervosa. So looking at the three aspects, we've got competence, so social acceptance for those who are thin or have lost weight with ease. Relatedness, the sufferer believes relationships will be better once they are thin. They also have a desire to better relationship with the self. And autonomy, which is the feeling of complete control when restricting diet, thus feeling more independent. Thank you very much for listening to this brief overview of my Wikiversity chapter.